Doesn't mean that you will ever be treated like you're anything but a hot woman. And it doesn't even matter if you don't try to do that, right? Like, there are so many content creators in this space, like women at the top of the leaderboards, right, that quite literally have never, like, objectified themselves beyond just, like, looking attractive. You know what I mean? Not like forces me to serve you 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the fucking hour. Every hour tells you if you no longer want to, which I tell you, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. That very same Twitch is an update to our approach to sexual content and content classification labels. Use a 3-minute ad break now. Yeah, in the trailer it said a third-term president, so it's probably fucking, yeah, it's most likely that they're fighting because he is doing a third term. It's the Trump third term. You can opt out of ads you show. Bitch, you don't know my contract? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Author Angela Hession. We have received consistent feedback from streamers that our current policies around sexual content are confusing and that it can be difficult to know their content will be interpreted based on these policies. We want streamers to feel confident they understand our rules and viewers to feel confident they will get the experience they expect. To accomplish this, we are making 2 effective changes today, streamlining our policies regarding sexual content and updating the criteria used for homepage recommendations. Streamline sexual content policy. To be effective, policies need to be easy to understand so the streamer knows what is allowed on the site and what's not allowed. Okay. All right, so there's an additional section in the content classification guidelines that describes when a streamer needs to label their content as including sexual themes. Going forward, the sexually suggestive content and sexually explicit content policies will be consolidated into a sexual content policy. There's a TLDR. Where is it? This policy specifies the types of sexual content that are prohibited on Twitch. Violating this policy will result in account enforcement. When consolidating these 2 policies, remove the portion of the sexually suggestive content policy that closely resembled language in the content classification guidelines. The guidelines explaining what content needed a sexual themes label were not distinct enough from the language in the sexually suggestive content policy. We launched the CCL content classification labels back in June in recognition that some content that is allowed on our servers may not be suitable for all audiences. Content recommendation from the homepage. We also recognize that not all members of the community want to see certain content, even if it's properly labeled with a content classification label. When a CCL is applied, viewers must provide explicit consent before they can start watching the stream. However, if label streams are shown on the Twitch homepage, viewers may still see content in stream thumbnails that makes them uncomfortable. We want to make sure the homepage, the TLDR, is some sexual content will be allowed, but with a tag meaning it won't show up on the front page. Nice. We want to make sure the homepage, which is often the first page that viewers land on, is more aligned with viewers' expectations. To address this, we're updating the criteria used for homepage recommendations. Streams have been labeled as inducing drug intoxication, excessive tobacco use, violent or graphic depictions, gambling, and or sexual themes will no longer be included in the homepage. Streams labeled as including mature rated games and profanity will not be affected by this update unless the streamer has also selected one of the labels bolded above. Viewers can still search for or go directly to the channels they follow that are streaming labeled content via the left bar on the homepage, but streams using these labels will not be surfaced in the homepage recommendations themselves. Do I even get recommended on the homepage ever? I don't think I've ever been on the homepage. Making this change helps ensure that viewers will not see content they haven't consented to seeing. We will continue to explore adding more personalized viewer settings in the future. Share your feedback. We want you to feel confident that you know what is expected of you, and we believe these changes will help you make informed decisions. Previously prohibited, but now allowed with label. Content that will deliberately... Wait, what? Content that deliberately highlighted breasts, buttocks, or pelvic region, even when fully clothed. Wait, what? Buttocks. Streamers found it difficult to determine what was prohibited and what was allowed, and often evaluating whether or not a stream violated this portion of the policy was suggestive. In addition, the former sexually suggestive content policy was out of line with industry standards and resulted in female-presenting streamers being disproportionately penalized. So here's the thing. What if someone's got some fucking honkers on them, right? And they're not like literally doing the titty clap thing, okay? But they just have some honkers, you know? There's streamers out there with some ginormous awoogas, you know? Like what? If you wear a cleavage showing shirt, for example, and the awoogas are showing, okay? But you didn't put the fucking sexually suggestive click, then what does that do? You know what I mean? Like, do you need a label that you got some titties on you? Like, what? That's true. It's gonna lead to a lot of awkward situations with that probably. Yeah, like it says that the end they will lock the label on your channel for a while if you do not label manually. That's what I mean. I can foresee this becoming a major problem where Twitch starts literally labeling female content creators who are not trying to like appear sexually suggestive because like people are mass targeting them or some shit with big ass honkers, even if they're like not fucking talking about their big ass honkers at all. And then they just get slapped on with that, you know, penalty. Fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. There's a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content. Oh, that's actually good. Body writing on female presenting breasts and or buttocks, regardless of gender. Erotic dances that involve disrobing or disrobing gestures, such as strip teases. Changes to popular dances, such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing, are now allowed without a label. Previously, some dances were prohibited and others were allowed with a label. Enforcing on dances regardless of context meant our policy prohibited twerking at a wedding or taking a pole dancing exercise class, for example. The policy now takes context into consideration and only prohibits streaming inside of an adult entertainment establishment. With the updates to the sexual content policy, artistic depictions and nudity allowed. Content with a focus on fictionalized sexual body parts, regardless of gender, such as doing nude figure drawing, are allowed with a sexual themes label. How does Twitch handle nudity in gaming? First, games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, sexual violence as a core focus or feature are entirely prohibited. Custom gameplay or visual modification that includes nudity or sex content, including uncensored patches, in otherwise allowed games are prohibited. Learn more about prohibited games. Second, for games where nudity is the core focus or feature, the mature rated game's content classification label is sufficient for incidental nudity. However, the sexual themes label must be applied for gameplay that focuses on nudity. Users may not engage in simulated sexual activity or erotic roleplay with other players in online games. Games that primarily consist of user-generated content, in-game roleplay, or interactions in virtual reality are not exempt from this policy. If the mature rated game that I'm playing includes violence, alcohol, gambling, yeah, that label is fine. Will streams labeled CCLs no longer be recommended in the left bar? This update will not prevent streams from being recommended in the left bar of the homepage, as stream thumbnails are not shown in that section. Will labeling one of my streams with a CCL also impact the visibility of future streams? No, past streams do not impact the visibility of future streams when your stream does not include one of the CCLs listed above. How about a CDL, dude? All the ladies that are getting fucking slapped with a CCL, get a CDL. You know what I mean? Get a fucking CDL. That's all I'm saying. What happens if you do not use a content classification label? Yeah, if you don't do it, then will result in warnings and the correct CCL will be applied by Twitch to the stream. If you fail to apply the correct CCL repeatedly, they will be temporarily locked onto the stream, but it will not result in a suspension. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Seems kind of fucked. No, the only thing I brought up is like how it can be abused, I guess. As far as hitting you with the fucking, you know, hitting you with the slut marker, you know what I mean? It's like slut shaming. Automated slut shaming. Yeah. Hitting you with a fucking scarlet letter. Yeah. At least I guess it's abusable in the same way right now, but they would cop a ban instead. Yeah, true. The Jesus lovers have waited on the situation. Dexerto will now allow artistic nudity following the viral topless meta. Is this allowed on Twitch? Yeah, I mean, he does artistic nudity too. Stable Ronaldo, Twitch now allows porn. What's wrong with these fucking Zoomers, man? What happened? What happened? Some broke. Check text, please. What? They are virtue signaling. Cowards who don't like baddies. I thought young people like sex. No. I think like there is a generation. There was a lot of like sexual liberation talk, especially on. There was a lot of sexual liberation talk, especially on like Tumblr by like kind of creepy adults. That then now leak at the chat. Oh, Extra Emily is going to be on Fear End on Saturday morning. I also want to do a IRL stream with her. Most likely on Saturday after. Maybe we'll go learn how to do pole dancing. That'd be pretty funny. Does it mean we will be seeing you twerk on stream now? Yeah. I'm going to be twerking on stream. It's the fundamentalist Christians that ruin teenagers. No, I think what happened, you should do a stream with FanFan. I'm down to do a stream with FanFan too. Is she even here? She's in Austin, no? Asman with the base take
Incels
here.
clutching their pearls over this shit are just sad. Your take is 100% dead on correct. Well, of course it is, because the reason why incels get mad about this stuff is because it gives autonomy to women in a way that they don't want them to have.
Damn, dude, he's spitting, dude. No fucking. He's spitting so hard. I'm drowning in his spit
Because they think that it's unfair, and it is unfair, guys. I'm gonna say it is unfair that women have a disproportionately massive advantage in the sexual marketplace. They can make 10 times the amount of money you can make whenever they're in their 20s because they're extremely attractive. You're absolutely right. That's unfair. And you know what else is unfair? Everything else.
Okay, I kind of spoke too soon a little bit, but hey, you know what? Okay, I mean, all right. I didn't see that part. I didn't. Damn. No, I mean, true, but male porn closed the gender gap. No, I think that there are very marginal benefits to the objectification that women are subjected to, but we don't even consider it. Like men, attractive men also get these advantages in the same way that attractive women do. The only difference is attractive men don't get stuck being just attractive.
Everything else. How about whenever they're 30 or 40 or 50? How fair are things then? It's a very reductive mindset.
I don't fully agree with this, but I get where his energy is coming from. Women get a lot more viewers the more hot they are, but they also get a lot more haters as well. First of all, men don't have to be hot at all to fucking succeed on this goddamn platform. Okay? Women kind of do because of the objectification. We have already established that attractive women get an early boost. Okay? Attractive women get an early boost in comparison to, like, I guess, an attractive man who's doing thoughty streams. This is a overwhelmingly male-dominated platform, right? Problem is that boost is not enough to keep women at the top. That's precisely the reason why you rarely ever see top at the tippy top in the top 10 content creators. Like, there are very rarely ever women, usually mostly men. People hyper focus on like the 300 viewer area where they're like, oh, women fucking immediately pop off. But it's like you very rarely see women have staying power in the industry, partially because of the expectations, partially because it's like, oh, you have to be hot. You have to be hot. You have to be someone who we objectify, right? But also, the other reason is because there is a shit ton of harassment that comes along with that. And I promise you, I fucking promise you, you have no idea how bad that shit is. You don't know. As someone who gets death threats on a daily basis, I'm probably one of the most targeted streamers out there. Okay, streamers already have like a crosshair on their back in comparison to other forms of media like YouTubers and shit. Okay, but there is in this career, in this industry, over the course of my 5-year, 6-year career, the only thing I can compare the sea of hatred and death threats I get is to just being a woman online. Okay? That's it. The only people that get way more and way worse stalkers and haters who rarely ever get fucking punished are female content creators. That's why VTubers are popping off as a way to circumvent the expectations and standards women streamers have to deal with on a male-dominated platform. They can look however they want behind the camera. Yeah, I guess. But also, it's just like, again, I think it's a reinforcement of like the unrealistic expectations that men have of women. You know? Dangerous World of Tush Stalkers. I don't want to watch this. Trisha is a birdie. I'm Jasmine. Rob CD. Yeah, there's like Amaranth. Brooke AB is the straight up worst version of this that I know personally.
See me and oh yeah.
Anyway. Bro, Kira, any of those Twitter meme pages can post you saying how all you do is yell and all these ignorant ass W community kids go off. Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's whatever. Please no lolcow shit. What? So, point is, women put up with a lot of stuff. Women in general, they don't even need to be content creators. Women in the gaming space put up with a lot of shit that men don't even have to think about. Like, if you have any girlfriends, you know this already. The fact that, like, a lot of women don't, for example, want to show that they're women when they're playing online games. Like, they don't want to do voice comms. You know? Straight up. Like, there's a constant sea. There is a constant sea of fucking hate and negativity that people get from like hyper shut-in incels that just fucking despise women and want to keep these spaces free of women. Now that's just the gaming space. Obviously this happens in the real world across the board. I'm just simply talking about like male-dominated spaces like gaming. So, it sucks. It sucks overall. But that's offset by the advantages the same image and objectification gets them? No, it doesn't. Especially because you're failing to comprehend something here. Attractive men get the benefits of being an attractive person in general. Okay? Attractive men might not get the same immediate benefits that attractive women do, but attractive men certainly have those same benefits. But an attractive man does not need to remain attractive, or an attractive man is not only seen as simply a piece of ass. Look at Will Neff. He's got a piece of ass. He's an attractive man. But people also see him as like a unique talent, an athletic demon, someone who's funny, someone who's brilliant. For women, on the other hand, you're just hot. Doesn't matter what you bring to the table. You don't have to just be hot. You can be hot and have all of those qualities, but people just see you as hot. Realizing my pretty privilege was a long road. No one tells you, and people just treat you positively. My brother and sister don't get the same. Jesus Christ. Did you just say your brother and sister are uggos and that you're pretty? What the fuck? I have female friends who have some stalkers make fake fantasy accounts using their Instagram pics. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, ultimately, women are taking an L here. Let's be fucking real, okay? Like, the only small marginal aspect of like a sliver of a W that women have, attractive women have, over just all men in general, is on this fucking platform where, like, yeah, if you're super hot, if you're a super hot girl, you're probably gonna get like a diehard, solid fucking 300 viewers, some of which are gonna try and fucking kill you and wear your skin. Okay? Yeah, but you'll make a couple grand every month. And you can actually make a living that way. And in comparison to like other shit, certainly that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool in general. But like, you know, men do find a way to fuck that up too. But that doesn't mean you get staying power. That doesn't mean that you will ever be treated like you're anything but a hot woman. And it doesn't even matter if you don't try to do that, right? Like, there are so many content creators in this space, like women at the top of the leaderboards, right, that quite literally have never like objectified themselves beyond just like looking attractive. You know what I mean? Not like not trying to do sex work at all. Okay? Pokimane comes to mind. And yet, for her entire career, people are like, oh, look at this slut. Look at this slut. Classic. Cutie Cinderella is another example. These are people who are Pokimane the child lover. What the fuck does that even mean? This is what I mean. Dude. There you go. One of them chirped. One of them did it. Look at that. Bro, I said Pokimane, and a motherfucker chimed in immediately. First ever taking the chat. Account created yesterday. Following since yesterday. This is what I'm talking about, dog. There is no one else on this platform, with the exception of myself, obviously, that gets this level of fucking psychotic hater animosity automatically, other than female content creators. There's nowhere else. Go to another person's chat and type in like, I like Hasan. Watch the fucking hatred fly. Okay? Also, I love that this guy's name is Spartan Hoplite. Spartan Hoplite. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Spartans didn't do that? Here's another one for you. Men have it way harder than women objectively. It's the truth. Don't get mad. Men have it way harder than women objectively. What the fuck? I mean, what are we talking about? It's a weird thing to get such a hate for being a different gender. Fucking hell, misogyny is such a trip. So here's the thing. And it starts off with like psychotic shit. Hasan, bro, I like you. Fuck them haters. Female content creators don't get as much hate as you do. Be honest. No, they do. They do. They get stalkers. They get like insane stalkers. I do too. But they get insane stalkers not for being like a socialist or for being fucking an outspoken person who is like pissing off a lot of people and ruffling a lot of feathers. They get stalkers because they're women. That's the difference. Not to say that like I deserve the stalkers that they get. Okay? I'm not saying that at all. But the difference there is like they get it automatically. For a guy, you can be like the sexy guy that I brought up earlier, Will Neff, a person with objectively zero fucking stalkers and zero haters. He's hot. Why don't they fucking, you know, why don't they go after him? Well, that's because he's affable, he's effable, and he's likable. And you can be that way and be devoid of haters on this platform as a guy. You can't be that way and devoid of haters on this platform as a girl. That's the difference. See, whenever I see you getting hated on across Twitch chat, is because of controversial topics like your take on looting. If you express bold opinions, I feel like you have to expect comments like Hasan's America, especially because you're a political commentator. See, the other part about this is that, and I was going to liken this to the whole Pokimane dynamic, is that, like, even if you don't do shit, XQC watchers hate Will Nev. That's so funny. Why? So, even if you don't do shit, right? Even if you don't do shit, like Pokimane in general, or many female content creators like Brooke, doesn't do anything. She's done nothing wrong. She just exists, okay? And it's like chill vibes in general. So, in that situation, people make up stuff. Like the Pokimane cookie dynamic was great, okay? She didn't do anything out of pocket. It's the same shit that everyone else has done. Influencer tax, okay? But first, they were like, oh, look how expensive this shit is. And then she responded to a fucking hater in the chat in a way that, like, every single one of us, including myself, has responded to. And then it became a massive drama cycle. Everybody was covering it, right? So in many circumstances, people just, like, hit until they find something that can turn into drama, and then they make that into drama, and then you're known as a person where drama always follows you, and people just kind of loosely associate you with, like, negativity, right? They loosely associate you with negativity in general, and that just kind of has staying power. Like what this guy just said, my take on looting. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not even about, like, a real thing that person has heard, that he genuinely thought about, looked beyond the clip chimp, and, like, tried to fucking assess. It's just a thing that became a problem through drama subreddits, right? And that's it. Obviously, no one is infallible. No one is, like, perfect. I myself certainly am not. It just takes a lot less for people, once they've, like, broken the barrier and are, like, known as a person that gets a lot of hate and is, like, hated by a lot of people that love to hate, will always get clicks. Then the barrier to penetrate to make you into, like, an enemy, or the barrier to penetrate to make you viral is very little. Right? You can be perfect all day, every day, for the rest of your life. The one time you slip up, boom, it's done. It's over. That expectation does not exist for filth, okay? It doesn't exist for people who live in the muck, people who live in the mud, people who live in fucking dog shit circumstances where the expectation is that, like, yeah, you are a Sneeko of the world. You're an Aiden Ross of the world. Even XQC to a degree falls under this umbrella, right? Where it's like, oh, well, I don't have any expectations that this guy's going to be good. So, like, yeah, sure, people do shit on him, right, when they do stuff. But it's never to the same degree as, like, the Pokimane drama. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. Why? Because the expectation is, like, those guys are genuine. Those guys are real ones. What do I mean by this? But what I mean is, like, they are toxic, right? So am I. But I'm toxic in a direction where like I'm upholding standards that are just bad on the internet. Standards like don't fucking be racist or homophobic or sexist. So then people go, dude, remember that guy? He used the word neurodivergent. Hasan used the word neurodivergent as a pejorative. Get his ass. And it's like people that say the N-word and throw around the R word like it's nothing, right? But they can get away with shit slinging in your direction because the expectation is you're supposed to be perfect. And nobody is. Pokimane said the N-word too? Yeah, I mean, she did. In, like, was it like 2014 or 2015 or some shit when she was like 16, 17? She did. How about when people make fun of short people, like the 5-1 tweet? Yeah. I don't think people are actually upset at that. that also gets into, yeah, this is the other part of it. Online, the boundaries are very different, right? You can be a fucking douchebag. You can make an incitement of violence. You can make a death threat, and it's just content online. You do that in the real world, people are like, what the fuck? You just gave me a death threat. Right? Online, we have this concept called lolcows. In the real world, people would look at that and go, you're just stalking this person. It's called cyber stalking and cyber harassment and cyber bullying. But online, it's like there are massive communities that engage in this as like a get together, as like a phenomenal, fun thing to do together, fun for the whole fucking family. It's crazy. Cutie Cinderella said sex work being on Twitch negatively affects the non-sexual female streamers' thoughts. I have, you know me. I love Cutie Cinderella. I love her to pieces. This is the thing that we have disagreed with very publicly and also even in private. We've had this conversation before. I am a firm believer that misogyny is the reason why people are going to objectify and sexualize women. Whether sex work exists on the platform or not. Here's the example. Do you think women in an office setting don't get sexualized and objectified by their male coworkers, maybe even sometimes by female coworkers as well? Of course, there's no hot tub meta at the fucking workplace, but they still do that. Why do they do that? Because the problem is the misogyny. The problem isn't that like some women are taking matters in their own hands and engaging in bodily autonomy and objectifying themselves for the duration of the stream. You know what I mean? If tomorrow there was no sex work on this platform, misogyny wouldn't go away. That's it. That's my thought on the matter. So, yeah. How does this negatively affect her? Did she explain? Yes. She has. Why is it still okay to joke about bald people? Not saying this deserves harassment, but some streamers talk and act so fake, they don't seem authentic, like they're trying to put out an act. First of all, plenty of streamers are trying to put out an act. Is being an entertainer. That's number one. I think that people see it as disingenuous if they can't relate to you. That's the difference. As far as like making fun of bald people goes, I mean, listen, as someone who's combated it his whole life, you just got to kind of take it in stride.